going on, guys and gals? This is Auto Tech. So, I'm taking a very random and very last minute whatever. Like, I'm not even going to call it a trip because I don't have anywhere to go. I was just kind of hanging out at home, and I was like, yeah, whatever. So I threw together a backpack, made some dinner, and then just jumped on the FJ and hopped on the highway, and I'll see where I end up. Looks like I'm heading right into a storm or something. I mean, luckily I brought my rain gear with me, but I don't really have a destination in mind. Maybe I'll go to Radium, maybe I'll go to Golden, yeah, somewhere, just crash for the night or whatever, or when it gets too dark to ride, see where I end up. I was smart this time though, and I did put my clear visor on. I've been really bad for that lately, especially with the sun setting sooner and sooner. Unfortunately, winter's coming, but yeah, like I'll leave the house at like 6:30 and it's nice and bright, and then 8:30 it's pretty well dark, and then I'm riding around with my visor up because I can't see. This would actually be the FJ's maiden voyage. I have ridden it a ton around town, and I've gone like a little bit out of town and stuff like that with it, but due to storage purposes, anywhere that I really had to go, if I was staying overnight or whatever, I would take the Harley just because I've got more storage for it, and you know, that bike's awesome. So yeah, but yeah, this will mark the first one where I actually like take this bike somewhere and stay the night, or leave the city for more than like 6 hours kind of thing. Well, that's kind of exciting. We'll have to see how it does. Okay, so I'm just in Canmore, Alberta right now. Rained a few times on the way out here, not too hard, so I decided to check the weather, see what was up. There's nothing really forecasted anywhere like to the west of here, which is the direction I'm going, so I'm just going to carry on without my rain gear and see what happens. I mean, worst case scenario, and pull over on the side of the road, have a smoke, and put my rain jacket on. Seems like this bike's actually pretty good for protecting my legs, just the way that the tank is shaped kind of thing, because even when I was getting a little bit of water like on my hoodie and stuff like that, there was nothing hitting me in the legs, so that was nice. If it starts to pour, I'll probably put the pants on too, just to be safe, because I didn't bring extra pants. These gates here are for the Banff National Park. The way it works up here is for national parks, you gotta pay to get in kind of thing, if you plan to stop, which is just like stupid. So it's like, you pay if you want to stop or go into the city or whatever, but if you're just passing through, you can just drive right by. It's not quite like that Glacier National Park where it's like you have to pay to even drive on the road. It's just a cash grab is what it is. I'd have to actually like check into it to see what they put the money towards, because it's definitely not the roads. Yeah. I think I'm going to take 93 south. Maybe I'll be able to see those forest fires or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, the forest fires themselves aren't cool, but seeing them would be cool, if that makes sense. I know 93 has been closed quite a few times, and you know, I've seen some cool photos of people driving by them, and yeah, I guess we'll take a look, see if we can find ourselves some forest fires. So these streams here on the right are they're really cool when you're going down this Highway 93. It's definitely one of my favorite things about going this route. The whole route's pretty scenic. I mean, you can see there where things were burning. Nothing's burning now, obviously, but yeah, these because they've got like that light blue to them, and they do like year round, like even in the middle of July, like they're still nice and like pale blue like that. It's like I seem to have just missed the storm, or I'm going to catch up to it or whatever, because the road's wet, but it's not raining at the moment. Sure dropped a lot in temperature though. Like since I left my house, it's dropped about 15 degrees Celsius, so I'm almost regretting my choice of a tire. But whatever, we're about 60 miles out, 100 kilometers from a city, and then we'll reevaluate from there. I just wanted to show you guys those cool looking streams. Oh, there we go. We seem to have found the rain. I'm gonna gauge it here. I'm always so bad for that, because I'm like, I pass something where I could stop, and then I'm like, no, like we'll get to the next one, and then if it's still raining, we'll put the rain gear on, and then it'll kind of like lighten up a little bit, and then I'll pass the next one, and I'm like, it's fine, and then I get to, you know, where it's getting harder again. I should probably put my rain jacket on so that I don't get my upper body wet, because that would suck. You know, funny enough though, there wasn't any rain forecasted anywhere. Like, because I looked before I left the house, obviously, because I was kind of gauging where I wanted to go, and everywhere that I checked, there was no rain forecasted. So, excellent job, Weather Network. I knew I should have checked 2 weather stations. I screwed myself here. Okay, I'm gonna put the rain gear on. My sweater's kind of getting wet here, moist. Okay, got my rain jacket on. Hopefully I won't regret not putting on my rain pants. I guess we'll see. So one of the best parts about going to Radium is when you're kind of coming down this big hill, you start getting into the nice corners. And of course my luck, it's kind of cool and the roads are wet, so I can't have too much fun on them. That kind of sucks. I am a little displeased about this. Like, yeah, whatever, you know, stuff happens, you're on the road, and you gotta put your rain gear on and you get wet and whatnot, but how do you screw up the weather this bad? Like, I've been going through, like, I don't know, like 40 miles, 70 kilometers of just, like, rain, and it's just like you didn't forecast rain anywhere within, like, a 200-kilometer radius. So, like, that definitely frustrates me, because I thought I was just gonna have a chill ride, like, you know, wear the hoodie and jeans and get to wherever I want to go. So now I'm getting into that fun section where I was talking about, where it's lots of winding corners and whatnot. So you can hit this one with some good speed, and then it gets tight up at the other end there. Hopefully this is showing up. I hope the lens isn't just covered in water and it's like nothing but distortion image or blurry image. And now the super steep hill down into Radium. This is always fun, like even if you're in a truck or a car or something like that, if the roads are dry, because then you can you can definitely have some fun on this here. Sadly today I cannot. I don't know, I just, like, I don't trust these tires all that much. Like, I'm sure they're not as bad as I think they are, but I'm just, like, I don't want to find out, you know, because, like, there's no cell service here, and if I go over the edge or something like that, like, that just sucks, and I've only got half a pack of cigarettes, so, like, that, like, half a day walk to get somewhere, I mean, yeah, that's just not going to work for me with half a pack of cigarettes. Never mind the damage to the bike or me. I don't want to go over because I don't want to walk without enough cigarettes. Oh man, that's funny. I always like this entrance into Radium. They had to like blast away part of the mountain or whatever just to get this road through here. So I can only imagine the mess when they were like blowing that apart, and stuff like that, just to get this through here. That would suck. And yeah, it's just cool. It's cool to look at. Not something you come across very often. Like because even like the main stretches through the mountains and whatnot, like it's so, I don't know if like commercialized would be the proper term. It's just so open and boring. Like it's kind of like a freeway, you know. It's not like one of these secondary roads. And man, it's getting windy as I'm coming through here. Like, what the hell? This right here on my left is the Radium Hot Springs. It's, I'm guessing at some point way back in the day it was like one of the cool hot springs, you know, where like a natural one, just a hole in the ground with some warm water. But now it's such a tourist trap and whatnot. Like it's just, it's like an overglorified heated pool now. Like, it's definitely no hot spring experience. I've gone there a couple of times. It's a nice trip, like in January or something like that. Get out of Calgary, drive a few hours, and then sit in a hot tub basically outside. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, I think they charge like 18 bucks a person to go in there too. So that's pretty atrocious. Here's the cool spot. Minus the Mustang revving it up in front. Cool beans, man. Your stuff backfires when you're decelling. It doesn't sound good. Sometimes I like add just a little bit of gas on the Harley just to avoid having it pop like that, because it's just sound like, you know, even though like it's not much you can do about it, like you can play with the tuning and whatnot, but it's just kind of a fact of life when you do an exhaust. But it just sounds cheap. Like, people who wouldn't know would just be like, ugh, what's wrong with that thing? There we go. Now we're kind of rolling into Radium now. I don't know. I might stay here this evening. Doesn't seem like a bad spot. I never did check to see if there was a hotel available. So that could be some regrets for me. Oh my God, this would have to be the best motel I've ever stayed in. There's my air conditioner up there. Here's my window with no screen. Well, at least it's crappy out, so I can let it cool down a little bit in here. And then, let's take a look in here. Oh yeah, oh that's just lovely. Oh, it's got the view into the trees there. Oh, that's just, yeah, like this is just lovely. So good. Let's check out this bathroom here. Oh yeah, someone's been murdered in here. Oh yeah, someone's killed himself, for sure. I don't have a doubt in my mind. But you know what? What I will give this place is it is the cheapest one I have ever stayed in. And they allow smoking. Outstanding. Okay, well, good morning, everybody. It is not very nice here today. I woke up and it was 4 degrees Celsius. So I looked that up, and that is 39 degrees Fahrenheit. That's gross. And then, so I kind of hung out for a little bit, and I was getting ready to go, and I was like, man, it's cold. So I looked again, and then it was 2 degrees Celsius, which would be, I don't know, like 35 degrees Fahrenheit. And I was like, what the hell? Now, being the genius that I am, I didn't bring my jacket. So all I had was my Hellride hoodie and my raincoat. So I am wearing my raincoat over top as a windbreaker because it is just nasty out. I'm just thankful it's not raining or snowing. Like, at this time of the year, you can definitely start getting snow in the mountains. And this guy's got a "How's my driving" sticker on the back. It sucks. You're being too safe. Like, come on, 30 kilometers an hour through here, like, that is definitely a suggestion. Ugh. And here's that cool passage again. One of these days, I should actually, like, park and go, like, walk around. You know, I always just pass through here because I'm such a good tourist and whatnot. Yeah, there's the parking lot. There's my chance. Do you see me put my signal light on, though? No. Because it's kind of like one of those, like, oh, you should really, you know, start working out and going on a diet. Like, people say that, but they don't actually mean it. So that's kind of how it is for me with the tourism thing. It's like, oh, I should stop and check this stuff out. But I don't. I decided to push my luck last night. I had filled up in Canmore because I didn't know if I'd make it all the way here from Calgary. So my fuel gauge still says full. So I'm going to see if I can make it back to Canmore. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. Well, that'll end up being like something like 300 and something kilometers. So this has got an 18-liter tank, so it should be able to do over 300 plus. I hope.
Otherwise, I guess we'll find out the hard way.
So last night I was saying I don't really trust these tires all that much. I definitely don't trust them at just above 0 or freezing temperatures. So again, I don't get to have too much fun in these corners. Back on Highway 1 now. It definitely hasn't warmed up at all. That's okay though. Things will get to start moving pretty quick here because a lot of the secondary roads in like BC and stuff like that, the maximum speed is 90, and then when you get onto these kinds of main stretches, especially on the Alberta side, it's 110. So, and then you do a touch over the posted limit, of course, and yeah, there you go. Except I see some flashing lights up ahead, so maybe it's not time to do a touch over the posted limit. That's really irresponsible on the cops' part too. Like, you've got this big open right shoulder. The guy pulls over into the left and it's like, well, good enough, I'm gonna right here, protect it. Why wouldn't you be like, pull over to the right side of the road? Like, it's safer for the cop too. Whatever, I guess he's just in ticket mode, so he's like, I don't care. Jesus Christ, these cops are everywhere. It's pretty early in the morning too, so wow, they're just on full alert. You know, I feel so much safer with them writing all them speeding tickets. I'm just rolling up to Canmore now, and I just lost the second last bar of my fuel gauge there, so still got 1 full bar left. I don't know how much that really equals on this bike. And let's see here. Yeah, it's about 325 kilometers to the last bar of fuel. So that's definitely not too bad at all, actually. Really can't complain too much about that. So I'm gonna top up here in Canmore, and I might just grab a small coffee or something like that. I mean, I got nothing else to do today. I'm not in a big rush to get home, so because once I get home, I'll have to clean all the bugs off this. So that's no fun. What the hell? This place is never not busy. My God, that drives me up the wall. Okay, so I put in 13.4 liters, and this is an 18-liter tank. So, if my math's correct, I had 16 liters left. No, I'm just kidding. I had like, what, 4.5 left. So that last bar means 5 liters, basically. Huh, not bad. I decided to go a little bit down the street and get coffee at McDonald's, because that Tim Hortons was just way too busy. It definitely warmed up quite a bit. I'm going to keep my raincoat on, though, because I don't know for sure. Like, I'm looking at people as they're riding in, and they're all, like, heavily geared up, so I'm wondering if the highway's still a little cool out. I guess we'll have to find out. Kept the jacket on, though, so I should be all right. Oh, yeah. Keeping that raincoat on as a windbreaker was definitely a wise choice. So I'll have no regrets there. I do believe that this mountain right here is called Three Sisters. I'm not 100% on that. I'm usually wrong when it comes to the geography stuff, but I'm pretty sure, considering the signs are Three Sisters Parkway and they're all kind of like heading towards that mountain. So that's kind of cool. That cement plant, cement factory, whatever you want to call it, definitely the workers get a good view. Like, look at that lake that they get to, like, basically work on. So, I mean, that's just awesome. Like, I definitely don't get a view like that when I'm at work. I get a parking lot and, like, a building. Not even, like, a cool building. It's like a Jiffy Lube or whatever that's next door. So, but then again, I guess their commute to work is a lot longer than mine, unless they live out here and then work there. And then that works pretty convenient. And that was probably the most random comment of this video. Yeah. Woo! There it is. Welcome back to Calgary. That didn't take very long at all. I mean, especially for you guys, but it didn't take very long for me either. This bike is actually very easy to speed on. I kind of noticed that on that last little stretch there. like, I know my Harley very well. Like, I can just tell by the vibration and like the sound of it how fast I'm going. So when I'm in Mexico or on the racetrack, like, I like to maintain that 130 to 140 kilometers an hour. It's kind of like my favorite speed. So, like, you know, again, in Mexico, and like, the handlebars just vibrate a very distinct way when I'm right around that, you know, 130 in 6 gears. So I just, like, I don't even have to look at the speedometer. I just know exactly how fast I'm going. And, you know, depending on the weather or whatever, I've got so much air hitting me in the chest, so I just know it by feel. This bike seems to vibrate about the same, between like 3,000 all the way up to just about 7,000 RPMs. And then obviously I don't have an exhaust on it or anything, so it's very quiet. So I'll just be cruising along, and I'll look down and I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm doing 110, 120-ish, whatever. And then I'll just be cruising. I'll zone out a little bit, get the lock wrist going, and then I'll like look down and I'm allegedly doing 150, and I'm just like, ooh, jeez. Like, that's, you know, that's excessive speeding around here. Like, that's not just speeding. So that's definitely going to take some getting used to on this. And with the wind protection, you know, you're not like I'm not like getting hung out to dry kind of thing. Like, it's just, you know, you're just cruising along and you don't really feel it, and then suddenly, yeah, you're doing quite a bit over the speed limit in Mexico or at the racetrack, if you know what I'm saying. So, you know what, guys and gals, I am almost at the car wash where I'm going to clean this son of a bitch up. Thank you for tagging along for the maiden journey or maiden voyage of this FJ-09, or is it FJ-09? That just doesn't sound as good though, FJ-09. I'll have to come up with a better nickname, the 09. Then people think it's like a 2009 or a Z09 or something like that. But thanks for taking the time and watching. I'm definitely pleased with how it went. The seat on this thing is not ideal. Like, it's better than the FZ-09, but it's still no Harley Davidson, I'll tell you that much. Make sure you go on and hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you thought.